Welcome back to the Kiwi Wedding Podcast. My name is Lydia and I am a wedding photographer based in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland. Today on the podcast I chat to the lovely Jemima. We talked quite a while ago. As I said, I have quite a backlog of recordings that I can't wait to share with you guys. But you may remember the fires that happened in the Port Hills in Christchurch earlier in the year. And that was right around the time that Jemima was getting married, which made for quite a stressful lead up to their wedding, with their venue and some family property being quite close to the fires. It was all a bit touch and go, but luckily came together on the day. She has some great advice and experience sharing around what worked for her day. And I would say this is one of the lower budget weddings that I have had on here, and I know you guys are asking for more of them. There's only so low you can go depending how many guests you want and everything, but Jemima has some great tips on certain areas that you can save in that you might not have thought of. You can follow me on Instagram at Lydia Rachel Photo and at the Kiwi Wedding Podcast, where you can see some photos from Jemima's day and all her vendors tagged there, as well as in the show notes wherever you're listening. And I just want to have a mini celebration that we're 40 episodes in. I can't quite believe it. Every time we get to a solid number like that, probably going to have a mini celebration. We're not far from 50, 52, which makes it a year. That's crazy. So again, thank you all for coming on this journey with me. Grateful to have you here, and there's so much more to come. For now, enjoy episode 40 with Jemima. Hi Jemima, thanks so much for jumping on the podcast with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. Really, really exciting. I was listening to the podcast all throughout my wedding planning, and absolutely got very, very inspired, and was sort of thinking to myself, I'd really love to record with you. So thank you so much for having me.
That's so nice to hear. It's cool that it's been going a little while now, so starting to get some brides that actually kind of used it in their planning. So yeah, cool to have that full circle moment. Yeah, to get started, if you could just tell me a bit about you and your partner, how you guys met, and your life together.
Sure. So my partner, or my husband, oh my goodness, his name is Mark. We met when I was 21 and he was 22. I'm 29 now and he's 30, so a wee while ago. We met at university. So I was studying to be a speech language therapist and he was studying to be an audiologist. So we were sort of in the same department at uni, and I had my eye on him for a while, but I think he took quite a while to notice me. Anyway, one night actually in Dunedin, we were out in a bar, and I said to my best friend, oh, there's that guy from uni, and then she basically did all the work, all the wingmanning, and the rest is history.
Love a bestie wingman that makes it happen.
Absolutely.
Good. So you guys were together for a while, and then can you tell me a bit about your proposal story, how that all happened?
So we've been together nearly 8 years, and by the 4th or 5th year I was starting to do gentle prompting in the right direction, like sending rings I liked the look of, talking about wedding venues, and he would just sort of smile politely and not wasn't really on the same page as me there. But we eventually, last year in April, we went over to Australia together, and I was so sure it was going to happen. And I was messaging my friends every day, like making sure I looked nice just in case, we were going to have some photos taken or something. And each day he'd plan something really romantic, like a walk through the gardens or nice dinners out and things, and it never happened. And then on the flight, before we got on the flight back to Christchurch, I just said, were you going to propose? And he said, I was, but it was just, I've had the ring on me this whole time, but it was just too much pressure, because he was like, because I knew you were on to me. And I was like, so then And I'd always said to him, like, oh, I'd love, if you were to propose, I'd love it to be, somewhere where I'd be all dressed up and looking nice and la la la. So anyway, 2 weeks later, we were out on a walk with our spoodle dog, Albie, out in Sumner Beach in Christchurch. And we're just walking along. I was in my activewear, sweaty as, um, and yeah, he gets down on one knee. So totally surprised me, which I think is what he was wanting to do. And he definitely managed to do it. So yeah, we got there in the end and it was a big yes from me. So yeah, it was lovely.
So nice. Had to get the surprise factor in. Cute. Love that story. And had you always been one of those girls that dreamed about your wedding? And did you have like a vision and style in mind that you're going for? And yeah, how did you get started with finding a venue, all of that?
Yeah. Yeah, I always envisioned that I'd get married, and I never really knew really what I wanted. I actually before we got engaged, but I had engagement on my mind, um, from what you've heard. Um, I used to work out at a school, and I'd drive past this beautiful venue that we ended up getting married at, and I just would look at it and think, oh my goodness, that is just stunning. Like, that would be such a beautiful wedding venue. And so when we did get engaged, I Googled it and it said it was a wedding venue. And we went out and had a look, and it was just all meant to be. It was just perfect. So the venue is out in Governor's Bay in Christchurch. It's called Ōhinetahi Gardens. And it's sort of this beautiful big garden set against the water there. And it's just stunning. But yeah, in terms of theme, I honestly had no idea or what I wanted it to look like. One of my friends, I remember, asked me, because she'd gotten married about a year prior, and she said, "Oh, what's your theme? What are you thinking? Like color schemes and things." And I just honestly had no idea. Yeah, and that did get me thinking. And then I think instead of confusing myself, I just thought about the venue and what the venue was already providing, which was beautiful flowers everywhere, lots of color, and we just sort of went with that and what the venue was already giving, which was so much. So yeah, it was very much, I was trying to think, lots of color, happy sort of spring feel to it. And yeah, that's what we did in the end. Lots of beautiful flowers, and my maid of honor Anna in a really bright dress, and yeah.
Nice. Oh, sounds so pretty. And yeah, that's a great idea to think about as well, just what vibe kind of suits your venue. Because, yeah, some people try and, I don't know, force a completely different style in a different style venue. And I don't know, I think, yeah, pulling from what's already around you is such a great tip.
Totally. And I think it saved us a lot of money in the end too. Yeah, not bringing in heaps of things to decorate it when it was already such a beautiful, beautiful venue, just to sort of let it shine. Yeah, I was really happy in the end how it all turned out.
And what were the most important elements of the day for you, your kind of top priorities when it came to different vendors, food, dress, yeah, all of that?
Yeah, I think the top priority was always, like in my mind, always photography. So we managed to get a really, really wonderful photographer, Tracy Allsop, here in Christchurch. She was also my makeup artist as well. She's a MAC makeup artist, so it was really lovely to sort of spend the time with her in the morning getting ready, and as she said, sort of build that rapport together, and then all of us sort of hanging out for the rest of the day. It was really, really fun. So yeah, I loved having Tracy. Another priority I think was definitely food. So my parents and Mark's parents paid for the food, which we were really, really grateful for. So we definitely wanted to make sure they would be, not only us, but they would be happy and involved in the choosing of the menu and everything. Yeah, that was definitely a big one for us, and we were really happy with who we ended up going with. A lovely company in Christchurch called Verve, and they just were absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. So yeah, I think photography and food. I honestly had no idea what I was going to do for dress. We just tried on lots of dresses and ended up finding the one. But that to me, I wanted to find something, of course, that felt like me. But yeah, at that stage, it wasn't, compared to the others, it wasn't a huge priority.
Cool. So you touched on that a little bit, but yeah, can you tell me about that process of finding your wedding outfits? You just went and tried on a bunch of dresses. How was all of that?
Yeah, oh, because honestly, I just had no idea, like going into it. Like I think I know everyone says, oh, you go in with like a picture in your mind of what you want, and then sometimes it's that, and then the other half of it is that it's completely different. But for me, like I just honestly didn't know, and so I only took my mum along with me because mum's a bit of a straight shooter, and I just thought, if we're gonna do this, I just need someone to tell me if it's nice or not. Um, and yeah, so we went to a few places in Christchurch. Um, the first place we went to was Brides of Mirabelle, and we tried on a few dresses there, and it was such a lovely experience. It was so good. And then we went to a few other places, but the whole time I was just thinking about this one dress I'd tried on back at Brides of Mirabelle that just felt incredible and so me. And I think I needed to almost try on some other dresses at other shops just to get that feeling, or that sort of, to really, yeah, to know that that was the dress. And so we emailed Brides of Mirabelle and said, oh, could we please come back and try on that dress? And they said absolutely. So came back and I just put that dress on. It was instant, yes, that is definitely the dress. So yeah, it was really cool because yeah, I didn't feel like disappointed or confused. It was just sort of a time thing, I think.
Oh, that's so good. And it is true. Sometimes you have to try on a bunch, even if you think you're not going to like them, but sort of just to rule them out or confirm that, yeah, you're going back to that one you keep thinking about. So,
Exactly.
and who was in your bridal party, and how was that process choosing them? Was that quite easy?
Yeah, so I ended up only having the one bridesmaid, a social maid of honor. I That was my best friend Anna. She and I have been best friends for since we were little girls. Met at Pony Club. Yeah, she's just my rock, and I have like lots of other amazing, beautiful friends. But I just on that day only really wanted her there, my mum with me, getting ready and standing up there. So that was really, in a way, it was kind of simplified it for me. Whereas I think if I had gone and tried to have more bridesmaids, I feel like I would have had too many, or it would have, yeah, it would have been hard to choose. So I think sort of simplifying it and just going with the one was a good call for me. I hate the feeling of disappointing people. So yeah, it was really really nice. And then Mark had three. He wanted five, and then he went down to three. And yeah, he ended up just having his best man being our dog Albie, who wore a little tuxedo during the ceremony. So yes, I think for us we kept it simple, and yeah, it worked out quite well.
And how about the guest list? Did you find that difficult narrowing that down?
Yes, that was really, really hard. I've heard it's really hard, but yeah, that was hard. Yeah, we originally only wanted 60 people. Like I was thinking really small and intimate, but as soon as you start thinking about family and cousins and aunties and uncles and then your friends, gosh, it just goes up so quickly. Yeah, so that was really, really tricky. We ended up in terms of friends, coming up was sort of a rule that if the friend knew sort of both what we did for a job and we felt like we would be able to invite them out for a dinner and pay for their dinner, then they should absolutely be there. And they were really important to us and a part of both of our lives. So that was sort of a good way of looking at it. And then with family, we ended up, Mark's side of the family's got lots and lots and lots of aunties and uncles, and then lots and lots and lots of cousins. So yeah, we ended up just making a call and saying no cousins, which was really really hard. I still feel really really awful about it, but it was just one of those things in terms of money and all of that. We just had to make that call. Yeah, so that's what we ended up doing, and yeah, we ended up at 78. Just a bit more than, but not too bad, I think, in the grand scheme of things. And it helped obviously keep costs down.
Yeah, oh, it's always a tough process for most people, especially if you have big families too. But yeah, I love hearing those little questions or things that you use as a lens for just culling people out a little bit. That sounds terrible, but you kind of have to be a bit ruthless sometimes, and yeah, it just adds up. And can you just tell us a bit about the big day? How did it all go down? And yeah, any stories or highlights, favorite moment?
So yeah, the lead up to the big day was a little bit stressful. so in Christchurch. So we got married on Friday, in Christchurch on the Wednesday, there was a huge big fire in the Port Hills. And so that was really freaky for everyone up there. And I honestly didn't really think about that, the fact that our venue was quite close to there until the Wednesday night. And it was honestly so close to the venue where the fire was. And so we contacted the venue and they said like they're literally standing out on the grass looking up at the fire and there's helicopters going over and things, and they were like, we haven't been told to evacuate yet, so at this point it's fine, but we'll let you know. So then that night we just sort of decided to make that call that if things aren't right, then we're just going to do plan B, which is get married at my parents' property. They've got 20 acres and sort of a cute little plot of gum trees at the back of their property, and we thought that'd be lovely. Bring all the catering, the furniture, everything there. It'd be absolutely fun. Cool. We've got plan B, and that sort of, it really did calm me down. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you're getting married as long as you're getting married. So yeah, that was all good. And then woke up the Thursday morning, and I'm horse riding. I decided I'd go for a ride on my horse. Just to start the day nicely, take control. So I'm out in the paddock riding my horse, and then I hear this really loud sound, and I'm like, "What the heck is that?" And it sounded like someone was walking on the roof of the house, and I was like, "That's crazy." And then I look up, and I just see all of this black smoke. And then one of my lovely friends from down the road calls me, and she's like, "Yeah, there's a fire really close to your house." And this is on the other side of Christchurch, not anywhere near the Port Hills. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? And so this is where I'm riding, is at my parents' place. And we've got about 6 horses, then a little foal, and it's just like animals. Just thinking, oh my goodness. So we're evacuating, we're getting horses on horse trucks. Like that morning was supposed to be picking up more table decorations and organizing things into cars before heading out to the venue, but it was just like chaos. Yeah, so that was interesting. We ended up not having to evacuate. We were ready to evacuate, and we were just sort of waiting to hear what the amazing firemen and things were going to tell us. And in the end, we were fine. They got it under control. I was so grateful. But honestly, it was, in a way, like in hindsight, it really, really made me think, oh my goodness, like not having the table decorations quite right. And like it really doesn't matter. Like, when you put that against like your house burning down, or, horses and having to be like safety, like all of that, like it really just put it into perspective. And so yeah, in hindsight, I think that even though it was really stressful, it sort of got me in quite a good headspace leading into the wedding, going, if something doesn't go quite right, who cares, because there's far bigger problems in the world, and yeah, everyone's safe. And yeah, so yeah, so that happened. And then I lost my wedding band and all of it. Yeah. So my best friend Anna had to go to Pandora at the mall with her partner and pick out a wedding band for me. I'm wearing, because I still haven't found
Oh
a
no.
wedding band. I know. But again, like I think if the fire hadn't happened, I would have been like losing the plot. But I was like, fine, like Pandora's fantastic. So yeah, she did that for me, which was awesome. And then we went out to the venue and did the run through, and there's like helicopters literally going right over the top of us with big buckets, and we're just like talking a bit louder because it's quite loud. Yeah, and gosh, they're just incredible. The helicopters, everyone doing that, we just felt so grateful. Yeah, and honestly, on the day, it was amazing. We were so lucky. Beautiful, beautiful day in Christchurch, and the wedding day, I think like all of the stressy things just happened in the lead up, because the actual wedding day was just, nothing went wrong. It was just, I mean, I think the only thing that went wrong was we ran out of ice. So yeah, it was just awesome. Yeah, it was such a good day, and yeah, everyone loved it, and we just, like, yeah, I'd just love to do it all again if I could.
Oh man, that is definitely a stressful lead up and something you just can't plan for. But amazing that it gave you that perspective in the end and almost lifted something off your shoulders, just like it's fine. Whatever happens, go with it. And lucky, so the venue wasn't affected on the day. You were able to go ahead with all of that.
Yeah, like the venue was absolutely fine. You could see, if you looked up at the hills, you could sort of see where there'd been fires and things. And there was a little bit of smoke. It wasn't like you couldn't smell any smoke, which we were quite surprised at. The day before you could, but on the actual wedding day, it was fine. The venue was absolutely fine. Yeah, we were so lucky, so lucky.
And was there anything aside from all of that, obviously, but anything you found hard or difficult about the wedding planning process, or yeah, you look back on and regret or would do a bit differently?
I think because when we got engaged was Anzac Day last year, and we got married in February of this year. So in terms of, I think I'm a bit of a, like, if I make a decision, it's just made. So I feel like I didn't have really the opportunity to get confused about things, which I think helped. But yeah, I don't. Maybe the only thing would be like looking through, because for us the morning of the wedding, all of the boys had to set up everything, and in hindsight I'm like, we could have negotiated that in our contract to be the night before, like that sort of thing. Just thinking a little bit more about how that's going to look. And yeah, because the boys found that quite stressful, poor things. And they only got back to their accommodation about 12 and just had to shower and basically get back to the venue. So yeah, I think thinking about the logistics and that sort of stuff, and looking into your contract and just seeing if you can negotiate things like that. Yeah, because I think if we had communicated that, the venue would have been absolutely fine with it. But, it is what it is. Yeah, I think that would be probably the only thing.
That's a good tip to think about. Then you can just, yeah, have it done and not stress in the morning, or the boys can relax, or yeah, have
Exactly,
a brunch or
exactly.
whatever,
Yeah,
just hang
yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah.
If you're happy to talk about, did you have a budget? And yeah, can you talk about what you spent to even ballpark figure? How did that all go? Did you end up going over it?
Yeah, so I had no idea. Starting out, I think we had heard of weddings costing like 40, 60K, and we were like, oh my goodness. Like, and I'm part Dutch, so can be quite stingy. I was like, no, we don't need to do that. No, we'll be fine. We'll be able to do it in 10 or 12K. Like, it'll be absolutely fine. We won't have many people invited. It'll be all good. Yeah, we ended up spending about 25, which, yeah, is not too bad considering, but also a big, big step up from what I first estimated. And yeah, things just add up. Like, like little things that I hadn't even thought about, like hair in the morning, makeup, like all of that compared to those big, big costs. But yeah, I think again, I can totally understand why it adds up even more when you're adding more people, because food is such an expense. But yeah, we tried to cut costs with food by doing a walk and fork style when people were eating for dinner, which I think cut costs down instead of it being served and that sort of thing. And it was kind of informal and quite sweet to do with I guess the eating in the garden and sort of that sort of feel and vibe. But yeah, it was there's just certain things that, photography and all those really important things that I think you do need to pay for, and that's paying for their service, and they're absolutely brilliant. So yeah.
A pretty good number these days, to be honest. Like, impressive that you did it for that. But good to know just those little tips as well. Like, you don't have to have a sit down dinner, keeping the guests like under 100 people and stuff like that, because it does so easily creep over what you've planned, and it is hard to know if you've never planned a wedding before.
Totally. And I think too, like I wasn't worried about having beautiful stationery and things like that, but I can totally see why that would be important to other people, and people would want to invest money in that. Yeah, I mean, I literally just printed out the menus at warehouse stationery. So um yeah, but that for me that wasn't important, but I can totally see. And yeah, God, it looks incredible. And you can, and again, it's how things just add up. And like only having the one maid of, the one bridesmaid or maid of honor, like that's cut cost without us even realizing it would. So yeah.
Yeah, so good. There's definitely ways you can go around it. Stationery is a funny one. Like I love it and appreciate it, but yeah, you can totally do it yourself. Or even I think with invitations and stuff, like most people do that online now because it's so easy and it's easier to keep track of the RSVPs and stuff as well. But yeah, if you want like a pretty photo of your invitation, maybe just print one copy for your photographer in the morning and that's all you need. There's, yeah, little things you can do to get around it for sure.
Absolutely.
Was there anything you did to save money in terms of different vendors?
Yeah, so I ended up contacting, I think it was, I must have Googled it or it may have been on the Canterbury Brides Facebook page, but I ended up finding a student videographer. But I'm pretty sure you can contact some of the campuses throughout New Zealand just to sort of see if someone would put the word out that you're needing a student videographer. So, yeah, so we found Luke, our videographer, through that. And we just asked for him to video our ceremony and our speeches because we couldn't really afford the full big video, but we thought those are the most important things that we'd like to rewatch and be able to show, especially Mark's grandparents who couldn't be there for the day. So we thought we'd fly up in Tauranga to see them and watch it with them and have a little glass of bubbly. So yeah, we just I'm really, really happy we ended up doing that.
Yeah, oh, that's a great tip. Good for people to know. Did you guys go on honeymoon straight away? And what did planning that look like?
Yeah, so we did, and I'm so happy we did. Especially with how stressful it was the few days up to the wedding. I'm so grateful that we did. We were actually considering not going on honeymoon and just saving our money and doing something bigger during, like, go to Europe or something in the middle of the year. But I am just so happy we did because we just so needed it. So we ended up going up to Waiheke and it was just beautiful. Yeah, we just did 5 nights up there. Best time of the year to be exploring New Zealand in February, and yeah, it was like a tropical paradise. And we yeah, it was just perfect. But I think honestly, even if we couldn't have afforded to do that, I honestly would recommend just like even just going camping or something, or going away for a couple of nights and just recharging and hanging out and just chilling and spending that time to just chat about the wedding and how much fun it was. I think it was just a really nice transition back into normal life, just to yeah, take the time and recenter yourself with your partner. Yeah.
Yeah, so good. That's great advice. Doesn't need to be extravagant, but even if you do just, yeah, camp or just go down the road, like switch off for a bit and yeah, decompress, reminisce about the day and everything. It's great. Waiheke's beautiful for a holiday. Good that you got some sunshine with all the beautiful
Yes.
beaches and
Lots of wine.
wineries and stuff. Yeah. And were there any helpful like websites, resources, different apps that you used during the wedding planning process?
Mark and I used Google Keep a lot between us, just as like jobs were coming up, would add it to the list, and then one of us would tick it off for just different ideas and things. We had different, I guess, notes on Google Keep for lots of different, I don't know, like table decorations or have you booked this yet, that sort of thing. So that was cool, instead of it sort of feeling like it was all on me or all on him. We sort of shared that responsibility of checking that quite frequently and just making sure we were on top of things. Yeah, another good one that we used in terms of planning the seating at the wedding, which was, oh my goodness, that can be very tricky. We used this website called Wedding Wire, and it was so good. You could just like I did like the first draft of the where people were sitting, and then I showed it to Mark, and of course it's like, nope, that's not going to work. So you were able to easily drag people around and like, don't put them next to that auntie and whatever. So yeah, that was really, really helpful. But honestly, just like chatting to my friends that have gotten married, they're just the best help. Chatting to my mum, like, thinking about what's important really to your wedding day. And I just got the most gorgeous advice from people. The the last week of work before the wedding, and everyone just kept saying like, it's, you know, it's about the marriage, it's not about anything else, it's about you guys. And yeah, that was just the best resource, I think, leading up to the wedding.
So good. Just real people that have done it before, or yeah, that's definitely the best thing, just talking to your friends and family. Yeah, good to hear about that one, the wedding wire as well. I have heard of that, but yeah, looks really easy and intuitive to use for, yeah, seating charts especially. Is there any other advice that you would give to couples planning their wedding at the moment?
Yeah, just be prepared for the unexpected. You can't control everything. Yeah, as we know, like I was checking the weather a month out from the wedding and thinking, oh my gosh, the worst thing in the world would be rain. And it's like, there's really worse things in the world. Yeah, so I think try your best, but yeah, you can't control everything, and just what will be will be. Ride the wave. You're gonna get married. It doesn't matter where or how it's gonna happen, and you'll have the best day of your life with your best people and your person. So just ride the wave, and it's going to be incredible.
That's such great advice. It's crazy that we even have to think like that, but it's a reality in New Zealand. Like, it's insane. I've talked to people that have had fires and floods to deal with, and pandemic, obviously. So all these unexpected things get thrown at us in life in general, but it can affect your wedding as well, which you obviously hope doesn't happen. But good to be prepared and, yeah, have that good attitude that you did to just like roll with it, embrace whatever happens, for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. You've got to.
What is married life like now? It's probably a little bit soon to ask, but yeah, do you feel like you got any of those post-wedding blues?
Oh, yeah, married life. I think the only change is like not calling Mark my partner and calling him my husband now. He's loving calling me his wife. He finds it like, yeah, so cute. Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit soon. I mean, we've only been married a week and a half, but yeah, I guess yeah, it's lovely. I think we've been together so long, so just to solidify it all, and in that way was so special with having everyone there, all your loved ones, and yeah, no, it's been lovely. But yeah, in terms of wedding blues, I've been warned, and from listening to the podcast, I definitely knew it was a thing. My hairdresser even said to me like, just book a facial for your week back at work, something to look forward to. And I was like, that is such good advice. Just yeah, so far it's been pretty good. I'm enjoying being back in the routine, but I do think having something to look forward to is super, super important. So like we're booking a dinner at the end of the week, and like super simple, but at least it's something where I'm like, I can dress up. I love doing that sort of thing, going on a date. Yeah, but I think it will gradually sink in that there's no more wedding to plan, which is lovely in terms of for my brain space, but also a little bit gutting. But then I'm like, yeah, I can attend more weddings and I don't have to organize anything and be a part of it all. So um, yeah, no, I think so far so good.
Nice to just plan those little things, keep the romance alive, and just, yeah, keep going on that wedding high for a bit. It's been so lovely to chat to you today. Anything else we missed or that you want to add as we wrap up, or say to engage people listening?
Yeah, I think our wedding went ahead so well because of the support that we had, not only from our family but from our vendors. Like, yeah, they were just incredible. The venue were incredible, photography, the catering, just the hire, like everything was just amazing. And we sort of, yeah, I think we just so appreciate their help there too. The day before the wedding, my caterer called me and she said, "Hey, like I'm aware that there's a fire happening quite close to your venue. Like, do you need any help with anything? And do you have a plan B?" And I said, "Oh, well, the plan B was to get married at my parents' place, but now there's a fire like 200 meters from them now, so that's not going to happen." And then she was like, "Just get married at our place. You can bring your horses. We've got 18 acres. Put up a marquee. Like, you'll be absolutely fine. Let me know by the end of the day what you're thinking, and we'll sort it for you." And it's just, honestly, we are just so grateful. So yeah, I think even though it's stressful and like sometimes when the vendors don't reply within the day or whatever, I think at the end of the day they want to do the best for you, and yeah, we are just so grateful for them all.
So important, just surrounding yourself with good people and vendors that you trust, and yeah, that's so amazing. Them to just offer even their own place, and yeah, that's when you know you've just got quality people helping you and doing whatever they can. I love that. Amazing. And we'll definitely share some photos from your day and credit all those vendors as well. So lovely to chat to you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been so lovely.